Welcome in, everybody. Today we're doing the teapot quests, which are apparently needed to complete like every single other Archon quest. So we're doing the teapot quest today, and that is going to be real cool because I have a bunch of event stuff that goes in the teapots, and now I can put the event stuff in said teapots. So join me as we do the teapot. I'll see you guys in a little bit. Where's bad on ping? Okay, here you go. We're doing it, brothers.
Ah, children, come. You've arrived at just the right moment.
Oh, have we?
I've been looking for you.
Have we now?
What is it, Granny? Need any help?
Oh, no. You've done so much for Leah Harbor already. I'd hardly
Leah.
ask for more.
Leah.
In fact, my old friends and I have been putting our heads together to think of what sort of gift we might give you in return.
A gift? For Paimon?
I only did as I should. You're too kind.
Oh, child, you are so very modest. Uncommonly so, even.
Oh, that's sad.
But you mustn't decline this gift. I simply won't allow it. When you traversed my old teapot in search of the cleansing bell, I heard your little friend mention that you often camp out in the wilds.
Yeah.
That simply won't do. Especially since I imagine you still have a very long journey.
I mean, as
ahead
far
of
as I know,
you.
we got like 3 more regions. We got
Fortunately,
Sumeru, we got
I have not yet
Inazuma,
grown
we got
so old as to see my subspace creation
um
abilities atrophy.
Fontaine. Then we got Natlin. Then we got Snezhnaya. And then we got Dainsliff. Just Dainsliff, no particular
Did
region.
my friends never mention that to you? Well then, it is a blessing we old folks once received from Rex Lapis, part of our illumination, if you will.
The minions?
I will not go into too much detail, but subspace creation is the ability to create a small, autonomous pocket world.
Oh, that's cool.
The teapot that you entered previously was a little trinket created using that ability.
A trinket, you say?
So, in the eyes of an adeptus, creating a magic teapot world is just child's play, huh?
Apparently.
Oh, indeed, the teapot is nothing to boast of. One such as myself must depart from this realm to create a world of one's own. Rex Lapis, on the other hand, moved mountains and seas. That is what one might call
Seas.
an exercise of true power. But that's enough nostalgia for now. The gift that I have prepared for you just requires a few final materials to add the finishing touch.
You don't even have it like prepared. Ah, no, I'm kidding. I'll help you look for him. I can help you look for him.
That's right! Finding stuff's what we're good at, after all.
That seems to be our specialty.
Oh, settle down now, children. There's no need for you to go running hither and thither.
What?
I have already found a fleet-footed youngster to prepare what I need. What's more, I doubt that you would know how to find the materials I am searching for. Some of them are very rare indeed these days.
And what are those, if I might ask?
Well, for starters, I require some shimmer soil from the banks of Dihua Marsh.
Oh.
Back in the day, it could only be found where the glaze lilies thrived most profusely.
Now there's only like
You would
one
have to
glaze
dig
lily.
downward, following the roots of the glaze lilies. And if you were lucky enough, you just might find a small patch of shimmer soil there.
That's cool.
But almost no one has been able to find shimmer soil in this manner since Dihua Marsh came to be the way it is today. Even more difficult to find is smaragdus jadeite, which
Oh.
must be chiseled from the rock of the chasm. Or so it used to be. Ever since the Blackcliff Forge opened for business, they've slowly but surely stripped the mines all but completely bare of it. In any case,
It's really loud,
Smaragdus
isn't it? I'm
jadeite
sorry.
is an adepti treasure, and the adeptal power within is not something that most humans can withstand. Extended contact with it is, in fact, harmful to humans. Goodness knows if that child will succeed in finding these items.
Who's this child?
Well, since you're an Adeptus, Granny, the person you asked for help, they must be an Adeptus too, right?
Ganyu?
Yes. I suppose she does count as an adeptus.
Count? What?
She counts? How come there are so many Adepti in Liyue Harbor? We seem to bump into them all the time. It feels like even when you go out to eat, you could be sitting next to an Adeptus and never even know it.
Oh, maybe so. Who can say? A fair few of my old friends are rather fond of mundane mortal life, after all.
I'm back, Granny.
Is that her?
Oh, I don't believe we've met.
Can we get like a higher view, please?
Allow
Thank
me
you.
to do the honors. This child here is Yenfei.
Yanfei!
She's the one helping run some errands for me. Yenfei, I believe you've already heard of the traveler and her traveling companion.
I'm not sure everyone's heard of us, but okay.
Who hasn't? Much has been written about you in the Millilith's records.
That's not good.
You became one of Liyue's most wanted after the Millilith marked you as a suspect following the incident at the Rite of Dissension. After which, you fought off the Millilith at Julian Karst and made contact with the Fatui. Before finally defeating an ancient god together with Granny and her associates, and subsequently being cleared of any and all suspicion by the Chiseng. What a shame.
A shame? I did my best to like survive, and you're like, oh, that's a shame.
A shame that we didn't meet sooner.
Oh.
If we had, well, I can't say that I would have been able to clear you of suspicion immediately, but it certainly would have been less, embarrassing.
This is embarrassing for me. Okay, this
Allow me to
that's that
introduce
little
myself
creature
once
right there.
more. I'm
No, I'm
Yenfei,
kidding. I'm
a
kidding.
legal advisor. Got a legal problem? You can come right to me.
I'm having
yes,
billboard
Here's my
flashbacks.
business card. You'll find it has my contact details and office address. Keep it handy. If you have an urgent issue, just leave me a note at this address. Oh, and I almost forgot to mention, I offer a very generous discount for first-time customers.
All right, Yenfei.
She's worse than
all
her towel. Oh my
right.
god. Ah!
Let's get to the business at hand. I do not
Stop
think these
breaking.
two are in any dire need of legal assistance at the moment. You'll have to excuse Yenfei. She's always been like this. Ever the talkative one when it comes to her own affairs.
Are you really an Adeptus?
Paimon was gonna ask the same question. You seem really different from the ones we've met before.
What, like not a hermit?
An Adeptus? I guess. Kinda. My old man said he was one anyway. He mentioned that he once campaigned with Rex Lapis for a long old time, and then after that was all over, he went back and married my mom. They had me, and once I was all grown up, the two of them upped and left on a journey, leaving me with Granny here.
Okay.
Well, that's a bit casual for an Adeptus. Aren't you guys supposed to sign solemn contracts to protect Liyue Harbor and all that stuff? What do you mean he just went back to get married? Well, my dad did say that he'd talked it through with Rex Lapis and that he was fine with it. Even contributed towards the wedding gift, apparently. Anyway, let's not dwell on that too much. So, Granny, I've gotten a hold of most of the stuff you asked for, except for Smaragdus jadeite. I couldn't find any at all.
Is that so? But Smaragdus jadeite is really rather essential.
Isn't that like what you make the
Yenfei,
teapot out of?
Are you sure you can't find some other way? They have helped Liyue greatly, after all. It is only right that they are duly rewarded.
I know,
Okay.
Granny, you've told me 1,000 times already. Well, the chasm's definitely a no-go. But there's still a chance we can figure out some alternative means of procurement.
Alternative means.
Hold on a moment. Let me have a look.
Where'd that come from? Paimon.
That's a really thick book. What kind of things do you write in there?
Everything.
Commercial consultancy. Snezhnaya. Ah, found him. Crossel. Snezhnayan
Don't forget
merchant
that.
who once came to me with some
Just
legal queries on certain articles
found
in
it.
the legal codices. If my memory serves, all of them had to do with rare ores. He mentioned that he was considering acquiring some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins, and wanted to know if there were any legal ramifications that he should be aware of. Said he was planning to sell them in Snezhnaya. So, I guess I'll go look for him. With any luck, he'll have gotten his hands on some Smaragdus jadeite, or might have an idea of where we can find some.
Cool. We'll come with you.
Oh, you want to join me? I suppose that's no problem, but it's best if you just stand by and watch. If you try to get involved, you'll only risk placing yourself in legal jeopardy.
I don't want that.
Wow, an Adeptus imploring us to avoid incurring legal liability. Well, that's a first for sure.
Yeah.
Best we be a little more careful than usual while we're with her.
Yeah. Write you up for everything.
Some people find Yenfei to be rather demanding.
Yeah.
Do
I
try
have
to be
Paimon. I think I'll be
gracious with
okay.
her.
Okay, Crossel. Let's go.
Hello, Mr. Crossel. How's business been?
Oh, good, very good. All thanks to your advice, Miss Yanfei. What brings you here today?
You're too kind. I was simply doing my job. Now, I believe that the last time we met, you mentioned that you were looking to source some Smaragdus jadeite to make hairpins. Have there been any further developments on this front?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, in the end, I did acquire a small piece of Smaragdus jadeite and had it fashioned into a pair of hairpins.
Cool.
Miss Yanfei, might I presume that you have an interest in the hairpins? I must apologize. I've already rented them out to a lady named Chiao. If
Ciao.
you'd like to inspect them, you may have to wait quite some time.
Wait, isn't Smaragdus jadeite really rare? Aren't you worried about the hairpins getting damaged or lost while they're being rented out?
Liability insurance contract.
No, I'm not worried in the slightest, because I signed a contract with Miss Zhiqiao
Thank you.
before renting them to her. The contract
Thank
makes
you.
it quite clear that if she loses or damages the item in question, she must compensate me for its full original value. In return, I included a clause that guarantees the Smaragdus jadeite is genuine, with a penalty of 10 times the item's value payable by me to Miss Zhiqiao in the event that it is shown to be a fake.
No ambiguities there. Ambiguities there. Okay.
Guaranteed genuine, with 10 times the value payable if this claim is shown to be false. Yes, these terms are very clear indeed.
Of course. This way, both the client and I have the assurance we need. To ensure fairness, each of us has retained an original copy of the contract.
How do you have an
In
original
that case,
copy?
might you know where Miss Zhiqiao lives?
Ha-
We'd like
okay.
to pay her a visit and have a look at the hairpins.
Oh, of course. She wrote her address down when we signed our contract. Here, I'll mark it on your map for you.
Is that legal?
Thanks a lot, Mr. Crossel. We'll be off
I
now.
feel like that should be confidential information, but okay.
Oh, whatever shall I do?
Hello, is it me you're looking for?
Yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with?
No.
How do you do, Miss Zhiqiao? We understand from Mr. Crossel that
Zer
you recently
Chow,
rented
what?
a pair of hairpins from him.
Jichao.
My
Jichao.
associates and I are very interested in them. Would you mind letting us take a look at them?
The hairpins. I can't lend them to you right now. I've lost them. I don't know how it could have happened. I always kept them right by my side, and I hadn't even worn them yet. I spent so much money on them. If I have to pay their original value, there's no way I could come up with that amount of money on such short notice.
Why did you need them in the first place?
My family is in the ore business too, but business has been suffering ever since the chasm was sealed off. We now have a backlog of paid-up orders just sitting around, so we've been having to purchase some stock from other ore merchants to complete them. A big banquet is coming up in a few days, and several ore merchants I know of will be there. I need this opportunity to mingle and discuss prices. That's what the hairpins were for, to keep up appearances. I can't have them looking down on me. But now that I've lost the hairpins, what will I do?
Why does Paimon have a sudden strong sense of deja vu?
Maybe because this is the part where we say, we can help.
Would you really? I sent a commission to the Adventurers Guild, but I haven't heard anything back from them yet.
Yeah, we kind of do that
Hold
on a
on.
daily basis.
Don't run off looking for the hairpins just yet. Mr. Chow, would you let me have a look at the rental contract you signed?
Huh? Well, I mean, sure, I have it right here. Here you are.
Let me see. That's right! Yanfei said she's a legal advisor, didn't she? Maybe she can help Juchao somehow.
That would be a little unfair to cross over.
True. Though surely there must be a win-win solution.
Is there ever a win-win situation?
Right. I finished reading the contract. The terms are very clear, and they do indeed stipulate that you must pay Mr. Crossell the original value of the hairpins as compensation for the loss.
I don't think
Furthermore,
my
the contract also expressly states
my
that the amount of
articulation
compensation
is the best
must
currently.
take current market prices into account. And given the rarity of Smaragdus jadeite, I fear that the final amount of compensation may end up being significantly higher as a result.
Even higher. Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Juchao looks like she's about to faint.
Juchao.
However, all of this is assuming that it is indeed genuine Smaragdus jadeite that was inlaid into the hairpins.
Are you saying it isn't
Do you
genuine?
have to pause before saying that part?
I mean, yeah.
Anyway, the
For
hairpins
real.
are lost, so how exactly would we be able to find out if the jadeite is genuine or not? Whichever way you look at it, we've got to start by finding those hairpins. Except that if we found the hairpins, there'd no longer be any need to check whether the jadeite is genuine, would there? Seems right.
Please. Please, don't trouble yourselves over this. The fact is, I lost the item, and I should pay compensation per the contract.
It's such a large sum of money, though.
However much it is, I will have to pay it. My family are merchants, after all. It's vital that we keep our word and respect our contracts.
But it's like $2
It's
million.
come to this,
I
fear
don't
they
even
shouldn't
have that
keep
much money,
Crossell in
man.
the dark any longer. I'll go and inform him of the issue
Nope.
and then negotiate the amount of compensation.
No, don't do that.
Yes, legally speaking, it seems this is the most sensible course of action. But before that, I have some questions about the hairpins. So hold on a moment, Mr. Chow. When you first touched the hairpins, what did you feel?
What did I feel? Well, I remember that the gemstones set into the pins were perfectly smooth to the touch, like the finest quality jade.
Okay.
My family has seen much jade pass through its hands in the past, so I am quite certain of my judgment in this matter.
Smooth to the touch, finest quality jade.
Are those fish scales? What in the world?
No, it's nothing. I just need to re-examine a few things. Let's head over to Mr. Crossell's.
Are those fish scales? What are those? Whee! Okay. I didn't die. Let's go. Oh, I did almost die. Okay. That guy creeps me
Miss
out.
Yanfei, you've returned. With Miss Jiqiao in tow, too,
Jiqiao.
I see. How are the hairpins? I trust you're quite satisfied with them?
Don't say nothing.
About that.
Don't say nothing.
You lost them? Are you serious? Do you have any idea how expensive they were?
I'm sorry. Truly I am. I'll pay the compensation as per our contract. Every last mora.
Wait.
Do you have any idea what I had to go through to get my hands on that Smaragdus jadeite?
Let's go through the legalities first,
I
please.
just don't... Forget it. Talking won't bring them back. Since Miss Yanfei is here, I suppose we can just have her estimate the amount that needs to be paid.
No problem. But before I can give an official estimate, I'll need to do a little market research. Yes, and if I may just confirm again, it was in fact genuine Smaragdus jadeite inlaid into the hairpins, correct?
Of course. Genuine article guaranteed, or I pay back 10 times the value.
He doesn't seem very
All right, understood. I'll conduct some market research, and once I'm
Very
back,
honest
I'll
about
provide
that
an
one.
official assessment of the sum owed by Mr. Chow in compensation. Please wait here, Mr. Crossell.
Thank you very much. How could she lose my hairpins? She'd better pay every last mora that they're worth.
Stop pointing. It's not nice to point.
Looks like I'll have to find some way to raise that money.
The
Please
way
wait,
I walk.
Mr. Chow. I have something to discuss with you. It's not convenient to speak here, so let's find somewhere that we can sit and talk in more detail.
But first, you need to sign a waiver saying that you'll pay me for my legal services.
How could she lose my hairpins? She
Oh, you already said that. Schneschneien. Oi. You're not schneschneien because you're schneschleien. You see that way I slid? That was
Miss
smooth.
Yanfei,
That was clean.
What is this about? Are you here to tell me how much I owe?
No,
No.
I assume not.
What I wanted to talk about is there is a chance that the Orin laid on those hairpins may not be Smaragdus jadeite after all.
Not Smaragdus jadeite. Really.
Are you implying that you already sneaked off and found it? Obviously not. I'm no
Is that how you roll
adventurer,
your R's?
let alone a member of the guild. I don't run thankless, time-consuming errands for a living. Let's just say I made some deductions.
Gurgling.
I don't know if Granny told you this, but Smaragdus jadeite is found deep underground and contains very concentrated elemental energy. If mere mortals come into contact with it,
Really?
they'll be sick in the best
Really?
case. In the worst case, they could even experience a dramatic change of personality. It most certainly would not be smooth to the touch. Mr. Chow, did you at any time feel unwell while the hairpins were in your possession?
No, not at all. I felt perfectly fine the whole time. Not even the slightest bit unwell. I didn't feel anything special at all,
Really?
in fact.
Really?
Now that is strange. I noticed
I'm
earlier
just
that there were
gurgling.
elemental traces in
Really?
Mr. Crossel's vicinity.
Get
If I
out
have
of my
deduced
frame,
correctly,
Yar.
he may still have the Smaragdus jadeite in his possession. If that's the case,
Really?
we should go confront him right now.
I just want to tell me, is that how you roll your?
Right to his face.
How do you roll your R's? I don't know how to roll
Absolutely
my
not.
R's.
If we were to confront him now, there's no way he would admit to it. Eventually, he would find some argument to compel us to leave. And then, he'd throw the Smaragdus jadeite into the sea the moment we were gone. After that, he would simply insist that Mr. Chow pay up per the contract. He would lose nothing.
I mean, yeah.
Meanwhile, we would have to look under every stone in Liyue, hoping and praying that the hairpins do actually still
Gotta go.
exist somewhere in this
Good
world.
night. Good night. You're like, I've been listening to you horribly roll your R's for the past 10 minutes. I need to leave. They're
So vivid that Paimon thinks it might
Oh
be
my gosh.
experience talking.
It is.
Oh, it certainly is. I've seen my fair share of situations like this, and brute force methods are certainly one way of resolving them. Fortunately, I have far more elegant solutions at my disposal. I'll share them with you in due course.
Well then, since you're so experienced in dealing with problems like this, perhaps you could help me.
Give me a
Miss
second, give me a
Yanfei.
second.
Oh, that won't be a problem. But first, Mr. Chow, can I ask you to please sign this contract? Huh? Does there have to be a contract for everything? Paimon can't even keep track.
Yes, there does. If I had one more for every time I heard the word contract, you'd have a solid
Feels like Yanfei is
27
even
more.
more concerned with them than a certain
not
someone
much.
else we know. These are my formal terms of engagement.
Don't.
Everything prior to now has just been pro bono advice.
Don't.
But for me to investigate any further, I require a written contract. Any work commissioned but not bound by a contract cannot be relied upon.
I mean, that's understandable.
I understand. Then I will be glad to place this matter into your capable hands if you will take it, Miss Yunfei.
No problem. Just sign here, and I'll sign too. Okay. Now write your address here, and then sign on this page as well. And I'll also need your signatures on pages 5, 7, and on the very last page. Finally, if you could just use this ink pad to make a handprint over here.
Jeez.
This contract has so many pages. Paimon's all out of brain juice again.
Brain juice.
All right, that should do it. My fees are the same as always, and they're written in the contract. Have a look through and let me know if you have any questions.
I've had a read through. Everything checks out.
Well then, here's your copy of the contract.
Really?
I will retain the other copy.
Need me to do anything?
Not for now, no. Despite how intractable this problem might sound, it will actually be quite straightforward to resolve, once we've got some things squared away.
Okay.
I don't believe you have been part of an investigation like this before, in which case, hopefully this should be quite the experience.
Cool beans.
Miss Yunfei, I have to ask, why are you helping me?
Magic.
Because, as it happens, I'm currently trying to acquire some Smaragdus Jadeite myself. I noticed strong traces of geoenergy around Mr. Crossel, so perhaps he has, in fact, secured some.
Cool beans.
Whether he actually made it into an item of jewelry or not is a separate matter. But either way, it's a lead. As long as we follow it, who knows? We might just be able to get our hands on some Smaragdus Jadeite. Also, the idea of someone abusing the law to their advantage, I won't stand for it. But again, let's not dwell on this. Let's go to... where can we find someone who processes ore? I've got it. Let's pay a
Shito.
visit to Chateau, the boss of the Jade Mystery.
I'm not pronouncing them
He's
like
a
that.
professional when it comes to working with stone and ore. If Mr. Crossel had his ore worked on at all, Chateau would undoubtedly have been his first choice.
Hello there.
Why, hello there, honored customers. Welcome to...
Hello.
Oh, it's you, Miss Yenfei.
Is it
is
me
there
you're
something the
looking
matter?
for?
Surely not more spurious claims that my jade betting is rigged and no one can ever win? Oh, I swear on all that is sacred.
No, nothing of the sort. Has a Snezhnine merchant named Crossel enlisted your ore processing services recently by any chance?
A Snezhnayan merchant named Krosel, you say? I do remember that. He brought me a piece of ore, claiming that it was Smaragdus Jadeite. That was the first time I'd ever encountered it, so I had no way of telling if it was really Smaragdus Jadeite or not. But if a customer insists, far be it from me to contradict them. He was quite generous with his money, too, so I didn't give it too much thought. I processed the ore as per his request.
I mean, that's understandable, man.
Do you have any leftover debris from your work on it?
Why, yes. It was my first time encountering this ore, after all, so I kept a few loose shavings to study myself later. They're right over there, in fact.
Thank you, sir. We'll take a look at them.
You're not a police officer, though. Just so you know. Hello. Give me a sec. Okay,
If my
wait.
eyes
Give me a
don't
second.
deceive me, the cross sections and patterning suggest that these are Smaragdus nephrite shavings.
Smaragdus Nephrites.
Yes, it's not particularly rare, nor is it especially valuable. It's used to make jewelry all the time. I've heard it said that Smaragdus nephrite is in fact the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite, though no one's ever proven it.
Thin layer of separation, huh? If you must see for yourself, try examining these shavings for traces of elemental energy. Smaragdus nephrite is an entirely ordinary ore, containing no elemental energy whatsoever.
Man.
Is that so? Well, we might as well give elemental sight a shot. So, did you find anything?
Cheese. I found a lot of cheese.
So they really are different. But wait, how come Jichao is able to tell what it was just by looking at the
She
shards?
deals with it all day.
That's pretty awesome.
Every day.
There's nothing special to it. It just so happens that I've come across a great many of these in my time.
Why couldn't she tell them apart?
These two stones actually look very similar. Someone without a deep understanding of them would find it very difficult to tell them apart. There may be only a subtle difference for the casual viewer, but that translates to an astronomical difference in terms of the market price. And, I'm sure, a significant difference in the cost of having them carved into shape.
I mean, yeah.
All right, let's focus up. We're going off on a tangent.
Yeah.
But, never Never mind, Shirto. Why would Mr. Crossell...
Unusual actions have unusual reasons behind them. Let's take some of these shavings back to Chateau.
Shito. What's up?
Miss Yenfei? Might I be so bold as to inquire,
If you could just confirm for me once more, sir. Mr. Crossell did indeed claim that the ore he brought to your store was in fact Smaragdus Jadeite, did he not?
Yes, that's right. I still have a record of the job with me, in fact. Here. It says quite clearly, 1 chunk Smaragdus Jadeite, uncut.
Oh,
Then I have no further questions. But could I borrow the processing record and these stone shavings?
oh.
Of course. But might I ask why you need them?
Oh, I have my reasons. Ah, yes. Please sign here on this affidavit. This document shall serve as signed proof that these stone shavings originated from the, ore that Mr. Crossell brought to your store. Please read it carefully.
Yes, I see. Forgive me for asking again, Miss Yenfei. But
Miss
might I know
Yanfei.
the nature of the incident on this occasion?
I wouldn't say there's been an incident, just a minor issue. Thank you, sir. I'll take these with me.
I didn't explain much to
This
him, but
hard
okay.
evidence to back us up. Crossell won't dare try to deny what he did. On the contrary, this
Yeah.
is far from sufficient to build a case. We need to find something a little more compelling. If you want to make jewelry, you need a professional jewelsmith. Let me think.
It just pops out of nowhere.
Jewelry. Nope. Aha! Got it. Xingxi. She often helps people to find a
Xingxi.
jewelsmith. Let's go pay her a visit. Well, that was quick. How come you know so many people?
She's a lawyer.
Because lots of people come to me for legal advice every day. As you know, Liyue Harbor is the city of contracts. And contracts, well, I should say laws, are very important to us. But the amendments made by the Tianquan to our laws are unnecessarily complicated. How can I put this? It just seems like they're hard to understand and impossible to finish. As such, legal advisors like myself provide quite the
Legal
popular service indeed.
advisor. Okay, so it's not a lawyer.
So you help them make sense of the law. But didn't you say that it's hard to understand and impossible to finish? Yes, well, that's no obstacle because I've memorized all the legal codices.
All of them?
You memorized them? You sound surprised. Knowing the law inside out is a legal advisor's bread and butter, you know?
Is this how Adepti become so adept at everything?
Oh, this has nothing to do with being an adeptus. I just like reading things.
That's ridiculous, though.
Again, with that casual tone. Well, that's that then. Let's go look for Xingxi.
Okay. Here. Xingxi. Oh.
Oh, Miss Yenfei, it's you. Has something happened? Did the client from last time,
Have no further trouble from then on? Yes, of course. I'm just here to ask you a few questions. Has a merchant by the name of Crossell asked you to put him in contact with a jewelsmith recently?
Crossell? Yes, I remember him. He's a merchant from Snezhnaya, no? Yeah, he came to me with a chunk of something he called Smaragdus Jadeite. The design of the hairpins that he gave me was quite intricate, so it took me some work to find someone who was up to the job. Eventually, I found an older jewelsmith who made them exactly according to his specifications.
Cool.
This order was on hold for a very long time, and only completed quite recently, which is why I remember it so well.
Doesn't seem like there's any evidence to be found here. Miss Xingxi, I'd
On the
like for you to
contrary.
confirm for me once more. When Mr. Crossell commissioned you to find him a jewelsmith, did he or did he not assert that the material he presented to you that day was called Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yes, I'm sure of it. The hairpins were made using many expensive materials, and the asking price was quite high, so we had to put this transaction on record with the Ministry of Civil Affairs. Mr. Crossell wasn't very familiar with the necessary procedures, so I filed it on his behalf. I also kept a copy for my own records. See for yourself. The item is called Smaragdus Jadeite Twin Phoenix Pins.
Ooh.
The inlaid gemstone is recorded as Smaragdus Jadeite. The document even has the official seal of the Ministry on it.
Thank you, Sinxie. Now, could you let me borrow this document?
Sure, it isn't serving much purpose here anyway. I take it then that there's been some more trouble?
Just some minor
Nothing you need to worry
inconveniences.
about. Just a minor issue. I'll return your document as soon as I'm done with it. Thanks again.
Yay!
Everyone's first reaction always to assume someone or something is in trouble.
Because it's the nature of legal consultancy.
I believe we have almost all the evidence we need. We just need to make one last trip. Let's go to Boo Boo Pharmacy to speak with Dr. Baiju.
Baiju.
The weirdo with the snake around his neck? What do you want to speak to him for?
The guy that has, like,
Because
cancer or something?
only he can provide an authoritative statement confirming that Smaragdus Jadeite is harmful to the human body.
I mean, yeah, I guess,
Once we have this final piece of evidence in our hands, we can wrap this case up.
Okay. What's up?
My, to what do I owe the pleasure? Though I'm afraid that if you're looking for our little Chi-Chi, she's out gathering herbs. And if it
Herbs.
isn't Miss Yenfei as well. Now that's an even rarer honor. What business brings you here, might I inquire? Some charlatans peddling ineffectual medicines again, no doubt?
No. I'm here this time to ask if you're familiar with Smaragdus Jadeite.
Charlatans.
Smaragdus Jadeite? Why,
Girl's got some
yes,
snake
there is
eyes.
some information about it included in the 6th commentary on the 7 Mountain Treatises. The 7 Mountain Treatises states that this substance springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it.
What was
It is
that?
abundant in elemental energy, so if someone without a vision is in contact with it for a prolonged period, best case scenario, they fall ill. Worst case scenario, they'll suffer great changes in personality and their illness will only ever get worse. Anyway, I'm sure you didn't come all this way just to chit-chat. Knowing you, Yenfei, and given the specific nature of your question, I
Yep.
suppose that you're about to ask me to write an official affidavit attesting to the pharmaceutical peculiarities of Smaragdus Jadeite?
Yep.
That is indeed the case. If you would be so kind, Dr. Baiju.
Might I inquire?
No trouble at all. It's just a single document. Won't take me a moment. I would mention, though, that you are not the only one who's developed a curiosity for Smaragdus Jadeite recently. A Snezhnayan merchant came to ask me about it not
That's
long
who
ago.
we're going. Yep.
But after I gave him my reply, his expression shifted to one of remarkable disappointment. I wonder, Miss Yenfei, if your pressing business might be related to this Snezhnayan merchant?
See.
You needn't concern yourself about that, Dr. Baiju. Thank you for penning us that document. I'll make sure to compensate you in due course.
She's very good
You're
at
too
deflecting
kind. Take care
what,
now.
like, you needn't concern yourself about that.
That Baiju guy is as weird as ever. Is it just Paimon, or does it feel like he was fishing for something?
Because he
that
was.
Dr. Baiju's always been like that. Well, we have the evidence we need. Let's go find Mr. Crossel.
Okay, let's go find Crossel, boy. Stop saying my friend. It creeps me out.
Miss Yanfei, have you finished your investigation? I trust you will now be in a position to assess the compensation due.
Actually,
My investigation is indeed concluded. I can now provide a final figure for the amount payable.
Wonderful. Well then, please, could you do the honors, Miss
10
Yanfei?
times market value.
Of course. According to the stipulations of the contract, Mr. Crossel, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original transaction price in Mora.
Sure. Wait, what? Me pay her? Surely there's been some kind of mistake, Miss Yanfei.
Nope.
Not at all. According to my investigations and the material evidence that we've gathered, the substance claimed to be Smaragdus Jadeite that was inlaid within the Smaragdus Jadeite twin phoenix pins that you rented out to Mr. Chow was, in fact, Smaragdus Nephrite. Now, the contract states very clearly that 10 times the price shall be paid should the article not be genuine. Accordingly, you are liable for this sum, which is payable to Mr. Chow in Mora.
Yep.
Material evidence? What material evidence? Why, Miss Yanfei, you cannot frame me like this.
Not a frame, it's the
I
truth.
spent a huge sum to obtain that Smaragdus jadeite, and yet you claim that the ore inlaid on the hairpins is somehow fake? I demand to see your evidence.
Indeed. Only a testimony from an expert witness involved in the processing of the ore can serve as an authoritative assessment of whether it is genuine. Traveler, please produce the evidence in question. This is a processing record from the Jade Mystery, along with stone samples and an affidavit signed by the business owner, Chateau.
Seriously? Even the boss there couldn't differentiate between Smaragdus jadeite and Smaragdus nephrite. How does this prove anything?
Exactly.
In any case, Smaragdus nephrite is the outer layer of Smaragdus jadeite. So I had him cut away the nephrite, he returned the valuable jadeite core to me, and some nephrite samples remain in the store. What am I missing exactly?
That's an unsubstantiated belief.
Well, your claim that my ore is fake is just as unsubstantiated. And we are here to talk about evidence, aren't we?
I mean, true enough.
Ugh. Looks like our first piece of evidence didn't convince him at all. Seems like he came prepared. What should we do next? Hard evidence, something legally binding. We have just the thing. Show him, Traveler.
Minting jewelry.
This document proves that my hairpins are the real deal, doesn't it? This is the Ministry's seal, after all. It shows that the ore inlaid on the pins is indeed Smaragdus jadeite.
I mean, yeah.
Our second piece of evidence didn't work either. And this guy's getting more belligerent by the second.
I mean,
You know, you could be right. Perhaps the hairpins are the real deal after all.
Of course I'm right. All the evidence shown supports my story.
Well, hang on a moment now, because I do recall one final piece of evidence that we haven't revealed yet. Traveler, would you do the honors?
minting
This shall
jewelry.
serve as decisive proof of our case.
Boo Boo Pharmacy, boy.
What's this?
Smaragdus jadeite springs forth from stone marrow within the mountains and will bring disaster to any mere mortals who touch it. Sustained contact with Smaragdus jadeite over a prolonged period will, in less serious cases, cause a mild malady, while in serious cases, the patient may suffer a dramatic change of personality and fall seriously ill. Mr. Crossell, were you aware of these peculiar properties of Smaragdus jadeite?
Her smug
I
face.
had no idea.
No idea, you say? I'd guessed as much. But for you to have rented out such a dangerous item, I'm afraid that this falls outside the scope of my work, but within that of the Ministry of Civil Affairs.
I mean, yeah.
However, I'm sure that the Ministry will be relatively lenient considering that, as you say, you were ignorant of the danger you posed. Don't worry, Mr. Crossell. I will make sure that all the evidence presented here will be handed over to the Ministry.
Bro, her smug
I trust
face.
that you'll give them your full cooperation in their investigations.
What? Wait! I knew.
Oh, so you knew? Oh, dear Mr. Crossell. But if you knew of Smaragdus jadeite's dangerous properties beforehand, why would you...
Huh? No, The hairpins aren't actually...
aren't actually
Weaseled
inlaid with
her
genuine
way into
Smaragdus
there.
jadeite? Is that what you were about to say? You do understand, Mr. Crossell, that this means that you will have to pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora? Mr. Crossell, your answer, please. My client and I are waiting. He's seriously intimidating right now. It's like she's a different person.
Again, this legal consultancy for you.
I admit it. I confess. The ore I had inlaid on those hairpins was Smaragdus nephrite. But I'm a victim in all of this too. I invested a great deal of time and money into acquiring that small amount of Smaragdus jadeite, in the hopes of turning it into a piece of jewelry that would fetch a fine price. But after receiving it and carrying it around for a few days, I started to feel extreme discomfort. I couldn't sleep a wink or eat a single bite. I was in a constant state of agitation, too.
Ooh.
I went to Boo Boo Pharmacy to get myself checked out, only to discover that this sort of stone cannot be worn as jewelry. But how could I let all that money go to waste? That's why I had another pair of hairpins made from Smaragdus nephrite, which is almost indistinguishable from Smaragdus jadeite. I kept the real Smaragdus jadeite in a specially made box. I daren't touch it again. I was worried that someone would see through it, which is why I only dared to rent them out, not sell them. And then to top it all off, Jiqiao lost the hairpins after I rented them out to her.
So why did you charge Zichao such an extortionate rental price?
Exactly. If they weren't the real deal, why'd you make her pay so much?
Get his money back, I
I,
assume.
I didn't want to either, but when I purchased that Smaragdus jadeite, some of my business partners found out. I knew they'd be watching closely to see how much I could make off it.
That's unethical
If
business
word got out
practices
that I
there.
sold a pair of fake hairpins, then my days in this line of business would be over.
All right, let's cut the appeals phase right there. I failed to see what bearing any of this has on your transaction with my client. According to the contract, you must pay Mr. Chow 10 times the original price in Mora, and that is final.
10 times?
Croso looks like he could faint any second. As for me, according to my contract with Mr. Chow, 20% of that sum will go to me.
20%? That's as much as I spent on that Smaragdus jadeite.
Yeah, boy.
There's no need. It's fine. You don't have to pay me that much, Mora. Even if the Smaragdus jadeite on those hairpins was fake, I still bear responsibility for losing them. Legally or not, I think I owe some compensation for that.
Ms. Jiqiao, you...
However, Mr. Crossell, since you have no use for that chunk of Smaragdus jadeite, why don't you give it to me instead? I'll consider us even.
What? But I... All right, then. This cursed rock's brought me enough grief as it is.
And there goes to Miss
Miss
Yanfei.
I'll turn this Smaragdus jadeite over to you. I trust that it will suffice as remuneration?
Yep.
Well, that's not quite how the rules say this should go. But whatever. It'll do.
Thanks so much for your help this time, Miss Yunfei. When you have the time, I'll be sure to visit and express my thanks more appropriately.
Thank you.
Oh, come on. No need to stand on ceremony. Now, if I may confirm this again, Mr. Chow, have you and Mr. Crossell come to an understanding?
Well, yes, I believe we have.
Well then, that's good. Mr. Crossell, it seems that my client has no further claims against you.
Is that so? That's good. That's good.
Brought to justice
Actually,
once again.
Mr. Crossell, I'd like to talk business for a second, if I may. I could see from the hairpins you produce that you're very skilled in jewelry design. My family, on the other hand, works in the ore business, and we have a fair stock of fine ores. If we could join forces,
Business.
your jewelry designs and our choice ores, I think we could do some fine business between us.
Let me think for a moment.
Business, boy.
Well, that's that. And we've got the Smaragdus jadeite that Granny wants too. All's well that ends well, eh?
Yeah, though there were some twists and turns along the way.
Exactly. Usually when someone tells us they've lost something, we end up searching all over the place for it. But this time, you managed to solve the problem with just a big stack of documents.
And now someone else has free hairpins.
Even though the solution didn't involve actually finding the hairpins.
Imagine they're just
The
under
right
her bed or
solution
something.
depends on your perspective on the problem. The objective of my client, Mr. Chow, was to reduce her liability to pay compensation. So, rather than looking high and low for some hairpins, proving that the rented item was nowhere near worth what the vendor had claimed it to be was the more efficient solution.
I mean, yeah. I can't say I've ever met an Adeptus like you
An
before.
Adeptus. Speaking of, you took part in that battle, didn't you? In which case, you would have heard what Granny said. Liyue Harbor is now a city ruled by humans. The title of Adeptus means precious little to me compared to my job as a legal advisor. In any case, don't you think that the Liyue Harbor of today needs legal consultancy far more than it needs adeptal powers?
I mean, yeah, I guess, huh?
Paimon can think of someone who would definitely disagree with your reasoning.
I think that it's more than just reason involved here, Paimon.
Well, since we got what we came for, it's time to pay Granny a visit. I bet she's been on tenterhooks for a while now.
Madam Ping, hello. Madame Ping.
Ah, you've returned. How did it go? Were you able to find the Smaragdus Jadeite?
We were, thanks to Yanfei.
Good, good. Then we have all the materials we need.
Yes, we
Well,
do.
if we're all set, Granny, I'll get going now. Got a ton of clients waiting for me back at the office.
Oh, you. All right then. Go see to your business. Granny should be able to handle the rest.
Nice.
I'm off then. Bye. Oh, yes, Traveler. Make sure you don't lose the business card I gave you. I've
With
been
how
looking into
many
the laws of
people
other
I
nations as
upset
well.
on a daily
If you
basis
should
that
ever
might.
bump into any trouble with the law, come find me directly. Regulars get discounts too.
Come now, child. Are you leaving or are you not? If you have no wish to leave, perhaps you'd like to help me clean my
She's
teapot.
like, I need to leave now.
I'm leaving. I'm leaving.
That child. Goodness knows where she learned to be so rambunctious. Her father was hardly so riotous or fond of talking nonsense back in the day when he stood beside Rex Lapis.
A truly unique Adeptus.
Indeed she is. Liyue has changed, and the Adepti must also learn to change. Yanfei might be overly garrulous, but she is also the most intimately acquainted with the city among us all.
I mean, yeah.
Liyue is not the same place I once knew.
Granny. Why do I call her that?
All right, then. Let us speak of this no more. Back on topic. I believe that I still owe you a little gift.
A little gift, you say.
Oh, Paimon's so excited. How is it made?
And how long does it take?
It is but a single teapot. It shan't take long at all.
Shan't.
Just wait here for a moment.
Okay. Madam Ping begins to construct the gift.
There we go. This Serenity pot is all yours now. Hold it firmly. If you were to drop it, oh goodness, who knows what might happen.
It'd
Take
float like
these
that?
blueprints with you as well. You'll need them if you wish to make your teapot a little more lively inside.
Thanks, Granny.
Wait a minute, Granny. How exactly are we supposed to use this teapot?
Oh, you needn't worry about that. I've already arranged for a certain little helper to await you within this teapot.
Okay.
She will explain everything you need to know about it.
Okay. Oh. Nice. Finally, it's been long enough. I might do this one after. Place. Let me just enter. Cool Isle, Emerald Peak, or Floating Abode. That's how it looks, at least. But being inside a teapot and all, the highest mountain probably reached no higher than the stalk of a tea leaf. Oh, that's cool. That looks cool, but I think I'm gonna go with... That one looks cool too, though. I think I'm gonna go with this one. Floating Abode. Oh! What's happening? Okay, what's going on, though?
Wow! This teapot seems even bigger inside than Madame Ping's. There's even a great big house in the middle,
Nice.
too.
Nice indeed.
But there's just a whole load of nothing around it.
Good chiseling, Paimon. You could carve us a whole house out of this rock.
Paimon can't do that. Well, you're the one with the sword anyway. You do it. Still, why is it so empty here apart from that house?
Because we have to place stuff, I guess? I don't know.
Wait a second. What is that?
Is that our little helper? Hello there.
Well, it seems that we have a visitor.
a huge finch! Excuse me, I am not a finch. I am a teapot spirit.
Kind of a finch.
And you may call me... hang on a moment. What am I supposed to be called again?
You don't remember your own name?
Oh, call me. I suppose you may call me Tubby.
You certainly look the part.
So you're the little helper Madam Ping mentioned?
Little. You're a little Paimon. It's about the
Madam
same.
Ping? Oh, you must mean Ping. Yes, she did summon me here. She told me much about you. You may leave all matters regarding the upkeep of this realm to me.
That's cool.
Your journey may be far from over, but at least this way you will not want for a comfortable place to sleep each night.
So what's Teapot Spirit exactly?
Though it is the Adepti who create realms such as this, they generally do not have the time of day to attend to the banal matter of their maintenance.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Thus, we Teapot Spirits were created to help guard their realms and manage their affairs.
That's cool.
You may consider me a butler, if you will. Now, allow me to explain this realm to you. Have you any blueprints on you? Specifically, blueprints with beautiful rooms, chairs, and the like.
Yeah,
As long as
I
you
think
have
so.
a blueprint, you can refashion this realm however you please.
That's cool.
Blueprints? Oh, that's right! Granny handed us some when she gave us the teapot, didn't she?
Time to spend the next
Let's
hour
check them out
doing
and have
this.
a look. Yes, these are the blueprints I'm talking about. Go on, open them up. Just
Okay.
commit the image of the objects to memory and prepare the necessary materials.
Okay.
Then simply release the thought from your mind and the object in the blueprint shall appear within this teapot.
That's cool. Interesting. That's cool.
Is that all it takes? Then we could build a whole city inside, couldn't we?
I mean, we could. Possibly.
I doubt it. A golden-eyed adeptus explained this to me at some point in the past.
Okay.
He said that even though subspace creation is a product of adeptal power, even that has its limits.
I guess that makes
This
sense.
world is not a true one, after all. It provides merely a moment of brief respite from the mortal realm, not a means of escaping it entirely.
Okay.
A golden-eyed adeptus? Paimon wonders who could that be? I hardly remember myself. What's more, I have never seen that adeptus again since.
Jonely.
Well, let's not dwell on that. Have a look around. Best you get accustomed to this realm. If there's anything you
Mountain
would
Shaper?
like to ask, just look for me.
Ajdaha? I don't know. I'm gonna totally pretend I'm reading this. Okay. F7. Okay. Ooh. Zhongli, boy. Woo! Yeah, boy. Bro, like a Zhongli, like, sanctuary. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I can listen to it? Ain't no way. That is so cool.
you ever have any...
Oh, this is fun. This was actually really fun. I don't know how I'm editing this into a video, however. Yeah, this was very fun. Very, very fun. Um, let's see. Thank you for watching. It is time for me to log off. I'm ready to pass out. So, thank you guys for watching. This was interesting. Very interesting. We actually got some quests done. So, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, share with literally everybody you know. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.